Welcome back. If you are back indeed, we're going to go over, we're going to continue with 5.3. We ended last time with number 8, and now we're going to talk about 9 and 10. So here we go. 9 and 10, we're going back to the same bathroom that we talked about in number 1. And if you remember the dimensions, and if you don't, on page 292, it tells you what the dimensions are. It's of the room. It's 8 by 8 and 2/3 feet. Right. So let's put that down. Let's use a different color because it's always nice to use a different color sometimes. So let's use a different color. How about we use? Oh, I like this color. Let's use this one. Let's see if this works. See how this turns out. So how about we use blue? Yeah, that's nice. So 8 and 2/3, all right, and then there was 12 and 3/4. Okay. Now, we found the area last time because we were going to do tile. Now we're going to do a baseboard. Okay. Now baseboards obviously aren't tile, and they go along the outside of the wall, which is the perimeter. Okay. Now, hopefully you remember what the perimeter, the equation for perimeter equals, and if you don't, I'll write it down in just a second. Now, when you're doing a bathroom border, right, or any room with a door, you have to consider the door, okay? And in this case, the problem tells you how many inches the door is, all right? The door is 39 inches, okay? That's what the door is, okay? So that means that one of the walls is going to be 39 inches smaller than the other wall, okay? So for example, if the door was on this wall right here, the opposite wall would be 8 and 2/3 feet, all right? And the other wall would be 8 and 2/3 feet minus the 39 inches, and so it would be the perimeter would be less because of that 39 inches. So we got to take that into consideration, which they write out a formula for you in the book, and the formula is this. And they also tell you, also in the book, that 39 inches, all right, so you don't even have to do this math, 39 inches is 39 divided by 12, okay, which equals 3 1/4 feet, okay? They did this math for you, so you don't even have to worry about this. All right. So now they write a problem, and the problem is this, okay? M equals 2. I'm getting kind of bored with that color. Let's try a different color. Let's try this color. 2. There we go. That's better. 2 times L plus 2 times W minus, let's see here, minus let's use a different color. 3 1/4. Okay. So then they ask you in 9, explain why this formula makes sense. Well, it makes sense because if you recall what perimeter is, all right, what is perimeter? All right, to find the perimeter, it's P equals 2L plus 2W. Okay, that's what the perimeter is. Okay, that's how you find the perimeter. You find the measurement of one length of the one wall, you find the measurement of the length of the width of the other wall, and then you times the length by 2 times the width by 2, and you plus them, and that gives you the perimeter. Okay, but what is this minus 3 1/4? Well, that is the length of the door, because when you're doing the border, you aren't going to put a border on the door, because then you would have a difficulty going in and out of the bathroom, because you'd have to step over that border, all right? Or you'd have to attach that border to the door, so when you open the door, the border would swing open and close with the door, all right? Most people don't do that, so that's why you are not going to put a border on the door. All right, so that's why it makes sense. Hopefully you get that. All right, so then 10. 10, they ask you to determine the amount of molding that you'll need based off of this equation, okay? So let's make room for that. There we go, and we'll just Let's erase this. All right, so let's see here. Let's go here, and now we have the equation, and let's remember the dimensions. We have 8 2/3, okay, and we have 12 3/4, okay. Now, it's also interesting to note that if you look in your book, before they got 3 1/4 feet from the 39 inches, remember this is the length of the door, they did 39 over 12, all right? And let's keep this in mind, because when we plus and minus all of this, in the end we're going to have a common denominator, and that's going to be 12, and it's just easier to write this as this, so we have a common denominator, which is 12. All right, so it's easier to use this because all the other ones will be 12 as well. All right, so anyway, let's do this. So here we go. M equals let's use the same color if I can. I'm colorblind, so there we go. Cool. M equals 2L, and L, we're going to say that's this right here. So let's use that same color too if we can. I think it's this one. Yeah, cool. So 2 times, and then this changes to an improper fraction. So 12 times 4 is 48, plus 3 is 51. So 51/4. All right, and then let's plus it, and it's going to be 2 times the length, the width. All right, so 3 times 8 is 24, plus 2 is 26. 26/3. Okay. All right. So then we'll just forget about this right now because we already know what this is. So let's figure this out, and then we'll come back and remember that. All right. So this and this we times straight across, but we don't need to times this just yet because if we recall correctly, this is also 2 times 2. Okay. So 2 times 2, and then we can factor that out. And I already went over why you can factor that out, and the reason is because when you're timesing a whole number by the fraction, you times it by the numerator, and then this denominator is 2 times 2, and when you have you have a number 2 on top and a number 2 on bottom, you can cancel those out, so then it turns into just 51/2. All right, and then this one, you can't do that, so you just time straight across. So it's 2 times 26, and 26 is, if I'm not mistaken, 52. So then we have 52 divided by 3. So let's put plus 52 divided by 3. Okay, that's what it goes. And then over here, remember this is M equals, all right? And then let's remember this over here now. This over here, and I'll show you. I showed you this before, but I'll show you this again. All right, this is, let's just say it's 3 1/4. Okay. All right, so let's erase that. It's 3 1/4. Let's change it to an improper fraction. So here we go. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. 13/4. Okay, and then common denominator is 12. All right, so this is going to turn to this. Why? Because watch. If you times this, let's go ahead and use this. All right. So if you want this to be 12, you want this to be 12, then you have to times the top and bottom by a certain number in order to get 12 on the bottom, and then it has to be an equivalent fraction, so you have to times the top as well. So this times 3 is going to be 12, and 13 times 3, well, it's 39. So 12, which we had before, okay? All right, so, and then we're going to times this by 4. All right, and we times that by 4. We get what? We get 4 times 50 is 200, times 2 is 8, so I would say it's 208. 208 divided by 12, okay? All right, and how did I do that? Well, I did it in my head, and I'll show it to you, all right, just in case some of you didn't get that. I use the distribution property, 50 plus 2, okay? 4 times 50 is 4 times 5 is 21st, and then we take the 0 down, it makes it 200. 4 times 2 is 8, so it's 208. Okay, anyway, and then let's see here. Let's use a different color. There we go, maroon. All right, and then we need times the top and bottom by 6. All right, so 6 times 50. I'm doing the same thing in my brain like I did before. 6 times 50 plus 1, right? And then distributing it. So 6 times 50 is 300 plus 6, okay? Turns into 306 over 12, like so. All right, we got to speed things up because this video is getting quite long. So let's speed things up. Let's move this up a bit, make some more room. Okay, here we go. So now what we have is we'll do this first because it's addition. And this turns into 300 plus 200 is 500, plus 6 and 8 is 14. So that turns into 514. Like this, over 12, okay? Minus 39 twelfths, okay? And then when we do that, we're going to minus 39 from that, and that is going to equal 475, okay? Over 12. Now I've done this before. I did all this math before I wrote it out, so it does equal that. I can prove it to you right here. 39, cancel that out, that's equals 0, put 1 there. Now we get 5, got a 4 here, 7, and then 475. And then we need to make this a mixed number, all right? And again, I did this before, and the mixed number is 39 and 7/12 feet. Okay, that's how much baseboard you need. You need 39 and 7/12 feet, or you need 39 feet 7 inches. Okay, all right, that's it for right now. I'll make another video here in a sec.